Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are tuned in from. Welcome to another episode of What Now, my motivational and inspirational series with great guests that have an inspiring journey and just all kinds of knowledge to give out. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I hope everybody's doing wonderful. It's my 76th or 77th talk. I started last year in the pandemic. And honestly, I didn't think I was going to be here another year later. But here I am, and there are still guests pouring in. I got pretty much this month and March almost booked up. So I'm very excited to keep doing these talks with people that have something to share. We are still in a lockdown. I'm not sure how it is where you are. But over here, we are definitely still completely shut down. Now it's wintertime. There's snow outside. Snow like we've never seen before over here in Amsterdam. Well, I think the last time I saw snow like this was when I was little. And so I'm perfectly fine being in a lockdown at this point. I got my stuff going on. I got my lives. And I have a fantastic guest today. One of my all-time favorite R&B groups from the 90s, and I have the pleasure to welcoming Mr. Buddy to my life as a guest. I'm so excited. I like people that are on time. I said it the other day, so let's get him in this talk. I'm so excited. I'm such a fangirl right now.
Hey, Paige.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm excellent. I am so excited for you to be a guest. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your platform with me. I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. When Michelle gave me the opportunity, I was like, oh, I'm so happy I hit her up. And
Wow.
yeah, I was just like, it's for me, being in Amsterdam, having grown up with your music, as a teenager, so in that time your music was the stuff that we wanted to listen to.
I wonder why.
I know, right? Being in the bloom of our lives, it's for me. I never would have thought I would talk to you, and so yeah, I'm speechless for you to be here.
Wow. Thank you, Pay. Like over the past month or two, going onto different platforms like Clubhouse and stuff like that, and meeting people that I thought I would never meet before.
Right.
Like I met this guy. He's like the vice president of the ABA and doing all these big, great things. He's like, I have a friend named Pay that I want to introduce you to. And I was like, yo, no way. What's the name? And I was like, yo, I was just emailing her today with Michelle about a future interview. So your name holds weight.
Wait, who was that?
His name is
Wow.
Let me go to my emails. I got to go into my emails here, but
oh, you can let me know later.
Okay, while we're talking, I'll definitely bring it up.
Oh, I'm just like, okay. I know I'm not supposed to say I'm nobody, and I know I'm somebody, but I mean, I don't think I'm an important person, but I guess I am. That's so great to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna pull up his name right now. Okay. How you doing?
Oh, you know what? You just made my day. It's, and what I love about these talks is, for those who are people that are tuned in, I started this talk because the pandemic started and the whole creative industry was shut down. And I'm just trying to inspire and motivate people in a time where there are no shows and, we can't really move forward. We don't know how to be creative. And so pretty much every talk is the same, but it's different because everybody has different stories to tell and different inspirations and different ways of dealing with this pandemic. But then this caught me off guard. This is a surprise for me because this definitely hasn't happened before.
Oh snap! Yeah, I don't want to just throw the name out there, but I believe his first name is Harold, and he's a vice president. He's project coordinator of like an island that they're developing in Barbados, in the Bahamas.
Oh wow!
Let me see.
Well,
100% threw your name at me. I'll find it.
It was me. It wasn't somebody else.
It was 100% you. It's 100%.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm curious now. It doesn't ring a bell, but I'm very excited to hear that I at least am doing something to reach people.
Awesome.
but let's go to the whole purpose of this talk. Well, like I said, I grew up on your music. I was a big fan of the R&B groups and the New Jack Swing. And that time, it's like it formed me. It was my whole teenage years. I know I look young, but I'm a little up there. So it's interesting well, it was interesting for me to hear Michelle talk about the fact that there's new stuff coming out. That triggered me instantly to want to talk to you even more, because obviously I also want to promote the new stuff. But first and foremost, I want to ask you, as much as you're still working on music, how has the pandemic affected you professionally and personally?
The pandemic slowed me down. It definitely slowed me down and made me prioritize my projects, because I had a lot of different projects, and the pandemic said, okay, which one is the most important one? And that happened to be the documentary and the soundtrack to the documentary. Wow. And not that I put everything else on the side, but it kind of put me in a mode to like, okay, focus on this. Let's get this done one thing at a time.
Right. So. And then personally, how has that affected you? What was going on with you personally when this all hit?
Live performances came to a halt, so I started panicking. I was like, okay, so what are we going to do to offset that? So I started doing the virtual onlines, like Road Nation, a couple shows like that, and then I was just pretty much like going into safe mode. I'm just going to stay safe, thank God.
Right.
I continue to take the test and with negative results, and I just kind of wanted to stay that way. So I've been pretty much in my bubble.
Right. And you know what, you doing production as well and writing, I would imagine that there's at least enough to do, but how was your creativity affected by it? Did you have to take time out to really like what's going on in the world?
Creativity wise, I think my writing on a couple of songs kind of like it affected a couple of my songs. I when I go back to listen to my writing, I could see where this whole situation, the pandemic, kind of affected my writing somewhat. I kind of fell back from in the club and we partying and doing that to more like, let's just connect on a different level. Let's talk. Let's share food. Let's do, more personal things. So it kind of brought my writing to a personal level, because they said art reflects life.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
That's exactly what's been going on in with my writing and stuff.
Yeah, I heard that from more artists, that they kind of felt like writing about different things because life is different. Mm-hmm. Do you feel inspired by what's going on in the world, whereas your songs will be inspiring in a different type of way now because we collectively are going through the same thing?
I do. I feel like if you go back to our very first album, I think your favorite song on the first album might not be "Come Inside Now." It might be, it's
Stay Away,
One of a Kind Love, or Don't Leave Me. The more introverted songs are to the forefront as opposed to the partying songs right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Honestly, Come Inside would be one, because cabin fever and
that's it.
It's all about interpretation.
That's
but yeah, so personally, you said it affected your creativity a little bit, your writing. How was because touring stopped, and usually when artists tour, they're on crazy diets, crazy sleeping schedules. Health is affected. Do you feel like you changed your health routines, like physically and mentally?
My sleep is definitely off. Like I'm sleeping.
Oh, it's off now.
It's so off right now. Like I'll sleep like 2 hours and then wake up for 2 hours and go back to sleep for 2 hours, then wake up for 2 hours.
Wow.
And go back to sleep for 2 hours. Like it's been like this for probably like the last 4 months. Like I'll end up with 8 hours of sleep, but it's not just eight hours of sleep. You're right.
Yeah. That's not good.
It's definitely not good, but I don't know what to do about it. My sister has like these vitamins with what is it? What was in it? Caramel and lavender. like some gummy bears.
Oh,
They're
lavender
like, oh,
helps for sleeping.
chew these
Yeah.
2 things, right? Chew these and see if they help you sleep. So I tried them last night for the first time, and I think it worked. I think I did have a little, like, more like peaceful sleep.
Right.
Because mind you, in the pandemic, the dreams are crazy now because I have more time just to sit around and think. So my dreams are more creative and more lucid, and it's just And
Well,
I'm a drug-free dude, so it doesn't, like, I can't just smoke some weed and go to bed and just sleep all night. I can't do those things. But
you don't have to. You shouldn't have to need that to get a good sleep. But maybe I don't know. Take a walk around the block outside before you go to sleep, because fresh air and exercise might wear you out.
Good idea. Yeah. I should start hitting my gym. I got this gym off on the side of the studio here that's pretty much been like furniture or like a picture on the wall. So
you should start using it
and get it going. I need to get back over there and get it going. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. That might help you sleep too. I actually started with my workouts this month, and I noticed that I started eating better because I got more appetite. And because I wasn't doing anything, I was just sitting on my couch working all day, and I probably sleep better now too, because I can sleep pretty much throughout my day. But because I work with people on all the sides of the world, my day is also crazy. So I just take my naps when I can. But turning my brain off at night, that's the biggest reason why I can't sleep well. My brain doesn't turn off. I just keep going with all the ideas and, having to stay active in this pandemic.
Yeah, I've read where you could, if you lay down and just think about, you just close your eyes and just think about zeros.
Zeros?
Just zeros, and that might work to help you sleep. If you just close your eyes and just think about zeros.
I'm gonna try that tonight. I'll let you know if that works. Zeros. If it's turning into zeros and ones, that's binary code. Okay. That's the nerd in me. Anyway, so what about your diet? How are your eating habits? Have they changed since you're locked in the house?
I've been cooking more.
I've been
cooking more. I've been grabbing recipes from everywhere, from TikTok to online, you name it. I've been cooking like at least 3-4 times a week. I've been behind the stove. Like I've come up with some real good dishes. Like my clam linguine is better than the restaurant, I've been told. Yesterday I made a 3 leche cake with like the strawberry 3 leche. I grounded up my golden Oreos. I know it sounds fattening. I grounded golden Oreos in a blender with strawberry Jello mix and made this really beautiful topping on it. And I got cases today to put it in and make sure that I deliver it to my friends today so that I don't eat it all.
Wait, can you send some over here?
I wish I could. My sister asked me to she asked me if I could freeze some for her. So we'll see.
Man. Yeah, that sounds really delicious. Maybe you should send me the recipe and I could try and make it myself.
Okay, I can. I absolutely will send you the link right after this because I follow like line.
You know what? I need some more. I need some more recipes.
If you gave me 2 minutes, I could grab a slice and show it to you. You want to see?
Yes. Go do it.
Don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
I'm not going anywhere. We're gonna see the homemade tres leche strawberry cake. So you know what? I've noticed that all these artists that I've been talking to are cooking, because I'm going to do a follow-up live with Ray Angry as well. We're gonna cook together. We're gonna make some what was it? I think it was vegan tacos or something. I forgot what it was, but yeah, you'll see Pay in the kitchen again. I did one kitchen live with Mr. Bake. That was crazy. So yeah. Okay, let me see it. That looks professional. Oh my God, now I want to eat it.
On the top of it is golden Oreos with strawberry Jello grounded in it. Then that's some strawberry cake mix. And it has like 3 separate milks in it. It has a sweet milk, condensed milk, and a heavy cream. Yeah, I already have my slice for today, so I won't eat it. But you can see the milk on the bottom of it there.
Yeah, I see it. But you know what? I don't know if I can get all the ingredients here, because the ingredients in the States are usually a lot different than over here. Okay. So, but send the recipe to me anyway. I may find it somewhere online, and I'll just order the ingredients and have it delivered. But yeah, that really looked good. Now I want
Absolutely.
dessert. Now, I just had dinner, so I could eat dessert right
Okay.
now.
Nice.
I was just telling when you were getting your
Hmm.
slice, I was telling people that most of the artists that I've interviewed, they are talking about cooking more and are becoming chefs in their own. And artist Ray Angry, the musician, I'm actually going to be doing a follow-up live cooking segment with him.
Okay,
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, apparently I make for hilarious content if I'm in the kitchen,
Mhm.
because I did one with
Okay.
Mr. Celebrity Baker and Mr. Bake, and everybody loved it because I'm not good in the kitchen. But yeah, let's do it again. Maybe we
You know,
can
they,
do one with the desserts at some
yeah.
point.
They say never talk about what you're doing before you actually do it, but I'll share it. For the past 2 years, I've been working on a television show with Indiflix Films as well. Those are the same company that's shooting the directory, and it's a cooking show called R&B Flavor. So
Oh wow!
we're excited about that. Yeah, that's coming in 2021 or 22. So
Oh, that's
we still
amazing.
some pilots, and it's cool.
Can we watch it over here?
I'm sorry.
I'll find a way. Trust me.
Cool, cool.
I'll
Oh
find a
yeah.
way to download it from somewhere.
Oh, definitely. Oh, you absolutely, absolutely. It will be
But that looks
accessible.
amazing. Do
Thank
you feel like you're that good?
you. I can cook. I'm not gonna lie, I can cook. Yeah, I've
Well,
been cooking since high school. I actually started off working with a chef, like a really good chef, in high school, because my dad wouldn't let me hang out. So on Fridays afternoons after high school, after school, his friend would pick me up from school and take me to his house, and they would cook and prepare food for weddings or whatever type of events. So I would work with them the entire weekend. Then on Sunday, he dropped me off at church and maybe give me like $50 for a whole weekend of work.
oh wow.
But more important than that, I learned some dynamite recipes like stuffed tomatoes. Oh, I have
Yeah,
some.
you
I have some.
perfected those.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good.
And so,
So,
do you feel like if
like,
you weren't into music, you'd be a chef?
nah. It's not
No?
not that serious. Nah.
Okay.
I love
You're not
cooking,
that
but
passionate
yeah, I
about
wouldn't. Yeah,
it.
yeah. It
All
was
right.
either for
Well,
me. It was music or baseball. That's what I wanted to do growing
okay,
up.
cool. So, if it
One of
wasn't
the
music, it would have been baseball.
Yeah, it
That's
was one
good
of
to
the
know.
other. Yep.
Were you good?
I was very good. Yeah.
Is there a position with baseball?
Catcher.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I was a back catcher. I was a catcher, and it's a funny story because my buddies that I went to high school with, we all played baseball since we were like in little league, and I always felt like I was too small to be a baseball player because not going to professional baseball games, I used to just watch it on television, and I thought these baseball players were giants
we're
because
big. Yeah.
looking on television, I was like, I'm too small to be a baseball player. So I went into the military, and they continued with baseball, and they all went on to play professional
Wow.
baseball. One with the Brewers, one with the Seattle Mariners, and yeah. So
And you were like, okay, but you got big with music.
got to my music. Yeah.
So yeah, I did,
Mhm.
because Michelle sent me your bio, and I
Mhm.
never knew you were in the army, in the military.
I was
I
in the
don't know
army.
how to say that correctly. Yeah. And
Either
so
way.
that was very interesting to me because I was
Mhm.
wondering, and I've done some interviews with some music people who were also deployed, and it affected them differently when they came back with their music. How was it for? Because I know you met the group members, while you were in the army, right?
I met Kenny Greene. Yeah, he was in the
Right.
army with me. Mhm.
And so how does that happen? What were you guys doing? Tell me
This,
the
this,
story.
this is quite interesting because less than 2 hours ago, I was actually on the phone with the Veteran Administration, having like the similar conversation as far as because they keep up with me, like what's been going on.
Right.
You have some people that were in the military and they were in there. They might have been working in the office. They might have been doing this and that. But I was a straight up soldier. I was in a
Right.
unit called the 82nd Airborne Division, and I think music saved me from a lot of you
The
know,
mental stress.
the mental stress when I came back home. Because like as soon as I got back, not as soon as I got back, but a couple months later, then the whole music thing started kicking off. I had met Kenny Greene in the army prior to the war, but Kenny exited the military. I was sent to the war. When I came back, it took me about 2-3 months to connect with him again. And then it was like right back into the music. So I really didn't have time to sit around and think about all the horrors of war and stuff
Right.
like that. And I kind of like, I wish that everybody had that same type of vehicle, like that same opportunity, you know, give them a guitar and a laptop or something where they can, you know, get their mind off of certain things. You know, I can't say I saw horrible things. I've never killed anyone or anything like that.
But
you
still,
know, just
it's
being
not a
away
fun
from the
experience.
family and, you know, being in different places with people and not knowing, you know, what tomorrow's going to bring or if you're ever going to go home again. It was quite stressful. It was quite stressful.
How long were you out there?
But I was in the Army for a total of 7.5 years, but I was in the actual war for 7.5 months. So
wow, okay, but still, a lot can happen in that time.
Yeah.
So then you came back.
God and kept my Walkman on my ears, listening to Layla Hathaway, Today, Guy, the Future album was out. Like really good music. Like kept me focused on what my dream was and what I really wanted to do. So I really never let that consume me. Yeah.
Right. That's, you know what, I definitely agree with you. Like, I wish more people would have something to use as a creative outlet or just an outlet. But, you know, you were fortunate enough to do that. And then not only was it an outlet for you or a way to keep your mind off of, you know, your time there, it was also helping other people such as me all the way in Amsterdam, you know, playing music and going through whatever I was going through as a teen and put my mind onto other things. Yeah, music was definitely an escape for me as well during hard times. So, you know, I always want to give the respect and love to the people that were part of that. And it's still, for me, it's still amazing that I'm able to talk to some of the people that I grew up listening to. Like, it's amazing how the world works.
You know, we've been to Amsterdam a couple of times.
I know you have. And I think, I can't remember if I missed it.
Probably too young to come to the shows.
Yeah, either that or it was sold out or something, you know.
When you see me cutting my eyes over this way, you know what I'm looking for, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking for an email from the guy. He
that's
sent me
okay.
some really good information too. Let me tell you, it was such a blessing to talk to him. But we'll be back to Amsterdam. I work with a producer from there.
Oh yeah,
Stefan Droof. He's actually an EDM producer, but his ear is so crazy that we collaborate on a lot of R&B and stuff.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah. I'm here. I'm going to be screaming like a teenager again at the show. I'll be front row.
That's dope.
No, it was, I'm just so amazed by the fact that I have the opportunity to talk to people that inspired me and helped me, you know, live my life with music, because music has always been one consistent and stable factor in my life. My dad was a musician, so I don't know any better than to live with music. Like, silences are...
What type of music did your dad do?
Oh, my dad was the best guitarist I knew. And so I literally grew up hearing guitars. Him and his brothers were in a band, and they actually were signed over here. They toured, and you know, he was also playing the piano a little bit. He produced for some people, not on a big scale, but you know, he had his home studio making music. And so I grew up with band members around me, and I used to play the piano. I played a little bass, and so.
Could you see us doing a collaboration with some of his music from the past?
I'm sorry?
Could you see Intro doing a collaboration with some of his music from the past? Like some of his Republics or something? So let's talk.
I would have to ask my mom about that. Like, but definitely. My dad played country to rock to blues, soul. I grew up with a very diverse taste in music because he was so diverse, and I'm thankful for that. I'm just sad that he just passed away 2 years ago, so it's still fairly fresh, but he was proud of what I was doing in the music industry. Absolutely. Even though I wasn't an artist. Yeah, he definitely is the one that put me in this music industry. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have known about it and I wouldn't have nurtured this love for music.
God bless you.
Yeah, I remember, I'm going to tell you this one anecdote about my dad. So because he was a guitarist, you know, I knew everything about all the guitarists in the world. And then one day, D'Angelo came to play over here with his band. And everybody was trying to take pictures with D'Angelo. And I'm just running around behind Pino Palladino and Jesse Johnson trying to take pictures. And so everybody's like, why does she want to take pictures with them? So I'm taking these pictures, and I rushed home to my dad. I was like, Dad, look, I got pictures with these people. And he's like, oh my gosh, you got pictures with Pino and with Jesse. And he's like, how do you know about these people? I'm like, because of you, Dad. Like, right. And he was so proud. Like, yeah, and I didn't care about D'Angelo. Like, yeah, I'll see you perform, but I just want to take pictures.
Yeah, my story of meeting D'Angelo for the first time is a little different. Like, I was on a plane going to Los Angeles. There was a guy sitting next to me, and he had on this leather jacket. And mine was like a 4 or 5 hour flight to Los Angeles from New York. He kept the jacket on the whole time. And his manager was sitting on the left side of me. But when we get to Los Angeles, I met him, you know, for the first time I found out it was D'Angelo. We were going to do the You Will Know record, and he was the producer of it. But he kept his leather jacket on the entire flight, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait for him to come back with some new music. He's so awesome. Yeah.
He is, yeah. And I was fortunate to see him live a couple times, but I've always been a fan of bands because of, you know, how I grew up. So I always have a special love and respect for the musicians that put on the show with the artist. But going into your artistry, you know, I didn't know you did all the stuff that you did. So, you know, reading about that was very interesting to me because obviously I only knew you from intro. And so I had no idea you did all this other stuff as well. What was for you what was the moment in your career where you felt like, ooh, I can really, you know, make my living with doing music? What moment was that?
Honestly, I was like 10 years old. For real, because I would play the piano at church. I would play simple hymns like, and I was like, okay. Tuesday evening, I'm leaving choir rehearsal, and the deacon walks up to me with a yellow envelope in his hand. It had $20 in it, and he hands it to me because I had played the piano in church on Sunday.
Right.
And I was like, what is this for? He's like, this is for playing the piano on Sunday. If you play on this Sunday coming up, we'll have another one for you on Tuesday. So that started it off. I could make money from doing something that I love. And I just stayed with it. It didn't always pay, but I always stayed with it.
Right.
And, on the level that we're on now, I kind of realized that it would be lucrative once we did the Mary J. Blige songs, like the 3 songs right there. That was like our very first payday. But then during that time, I had no idea that there would ever be an intro because we were just songwriters and producers at that time.
Right.
And then as intro came on, and
how was that?
It just came
how is it going from songwriting and producing to actually being an artist on stage?
It was busier. I always thought I'm so thankful for intro, and I'm so blessed for that to have been a part of my music career. But had we just remained songwriters and producers, I think we might have had more songs out, and you know, it would have been scattered and stuff. We would have had a lot of music out, but no one would have known who we were, which I'm okay with that because nobody really knows who we are anyway.
Right.
But going from singing and writing to actually performing, the only difference is the touring and taking the show live. Yeah, which to me it was fun.
So?
Young at the time.
I mean, I find it interesting that you say that that's pretty much the only difference. But I would imagine especially back in the day, a producer wasn't necessarily an artist, like you said. People wouldn't necessarily know you, and now suddenly you're dealing with fans, with touring and all kinds of other press and. You know, I would think that would be a different experience for you than just being the songwriter or the producer.
Yeah. At that time, we were young without a lot of responsibility, so it was nothing but fun. You know, during that time.
What's one of the craziest fan moments?
One of the craziest fan moments?
Yeah.
Craziest fan moments.
I'm sure there were. I mean, I was one of those teenagers. So.
I don't want to send nobody to jail. Yeah. It's in Germany. That's I can say.
Okay. Something crazy happened in Germany. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I was kissed unexpectedly. We'll leave it like that.
Oh wow.
Like, it's been like our listeners, they have been like nothing but the best, like over the years and stuff. And I'm in contact with so many of them. I got a chance to go back years later and even read through the fan mail and see if these people are actually on social media now.
Right.
And one of the people that I came across was a lady named Makiba Riddick. And I was reading her card. And I remember reading a card in the past with Kenny. I was like, oh, I'm Makiba Riddick. Let me see if she's on social media. So I checked on social media to see if she was on there, and come to find out she's got all these songs written for Beyonce now.
Oh wow!
She's like the biggest songwriter in the world.
That's amazing.
She was in high school, so we've been like blessed to have like cool people like that, and it's just like a little bit of everywhere. Like I'm still in contact with friends from Russia that I met when we went to Russia to perform.
Wow.
And stuff like that. Yo.
So how did Makiba feel when you hit her up?
What's that? Oh,
how
Makiba?
did she feel?
Oh,
because that must have been like, what?
Yeah, well, it's been a conversation. Like, she responded to my text. Sorry, she responded to my text, and I didn't see it for maybe like 6 months because it was like
she was like, "This is fake."
Yeah, it was like in Facebook Messenger. I saw it 6 months later, and then I responded, and then it was a while before she responded, so it's not like a day-to-day conversation.
Right.
I have to constantly check back now and see, where the conversation is at. Yeah.
That's amazing, though. I find it I find it great that you actually keep in touch or try to find these people, and just out of curiosity, because that's really cool. I mean, I had one of those situations where I hit up Malik Yoba on MySpace. Awesome. I found him. I was a big fan also in my teen years, watching New York Undercover and, the whole soundtracks to that. And so he actually hit me back on there. And then he said something about, if you're ever in New York, let me know. And then I think a year later, I went to New York, and I was like, and then my friend who I was staying with was like, oh, I just saw Malik in the same street of where we're staying at. So I went on the computer and typed in, hey, I'm in the street. And he actually hit me back like, let's do lunch. And it was just blew my mind. So when people are that approachable and that down to earth, when I'm all the way from another country, I grew up in a small town outside of Amsterdam, and it's just, for me, again, I can't get enough of this. It's amazing. Awesome. Going back into your career though, I talk to artists a lot and creative people a lot about the navigating the industry. It's tough. You got to have, thick skin. There's a lot of people trying to take advantage. And so what was for you one of the biggest mistakes you made business-wise that turned out to be one of your biggest lessons?
One of the biggest mistakes I think I made that turned out to be a lesson, but it actually turned out to be a good lesson. And that was not signing over my publishing. Because we were offered publishing deals, and we kind of had a plan on, okay, Kenny would do this publishing deal first, and then we split it up, and then I do a publishing deal later on. But from the first publishing deal, we kind of noticed that things weren't what we thought they were.
Right.
So I was able to hold on to my publishing for Come Inside, and it was a lesson. But you want a lesson that kicked my ass. I know what you're talking about, right? You want one of those lessons. Let me think about it.
I mean, everybody's had them. It's not something that we should be ashamed of, because we teach others not to do those things. Yeah.
I just have to think of what it is.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of artists that came around during our time, and they got it so bad. They got it so bad. They didn't get like retirement funds. They wasn't signed up to like the songwriting societies and like AFTRA and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, Eddie F signed us up for those things. Atlantic Records, they signed us up for those things. So we do have nightmare stories, and most of it comes down to being young and not knowing what you should should ask for, and if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. That's one of the things I learned. And I think there were a lot of deals that were offered to me that I just didn't take. Like I was offered a production deal to come on as a producer, and I just didn't want to do it because it was the same entity that had me signed as an artist. So I felt I shouldn't be tied up as an artist and producer in the same thing. You know, I could do production work here without being signed as a producer. So
but that's actually really smart, in my opinion.
Yeah, one is enough. One piece of paper here is enough. You know.
Right. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
That's it. Yeah. Shout out to Jason Evans. I saw he popped in on here. He's the director for the documentary that's coming out.
Oh, cool. Do you have a timeline on that?
We'll have that tomorrow evening. Yeah, we're actually on the phone with the label tomorrow evening, so they're going to give us their timeline and when they're going to actually put it into their DSPs, and then Jason will be on the call, and then they'll come up with a release date, more likely tomorrow evening. Yeah. And
is that tied in with the new album?
It is tied in with the new album. Yep. The label is doing the soundtrack for the documentary, and then we're also releasing a new album during Black Music Month in June.
Oh wow! Oh, my birthday's in June. Perfect.
June what?
June 20th.
June 20th. Cool. My daughter's June 16th.
That was almost the Geminis.
The Geminis. My dad's a Gemini.
Okay.
My sister's a Gemini.
We're good people.
Good people.
Even though people say otherwise, we're amazing. No, definitely looking forward to that. I'll definitely want to check out the documentary, but also the music. Obviously, like when I first heard it from Michelle, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I can't wait. I was so excited.
I watched two cuts of it so far, and the first time I watched it, it made me cry.
Really?
The first time I watched it, I 100% started crying. I was like, oh snap! And then my daughter came down into the studio. And she caught me crying. I was like, She's like, why are you crying? I said, I'm not crying. She said, no,
I'm watching my own stuff.
she said, you're crying. I was like, well, I'm not really crying. It's just like I'm happy. So she couldn't put like why I'm happy and crying at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think I just found
the name
I got that from. Oh, Harold. Okay, let me see. Boo, buddy, boo. Okay.
I'm so curious.
You're good. Okay, let me see. Jason, Quentin Wike. Oh, here we go. Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. We're here.
Yeah.
I just don't want to go into my phone and pull it up.
But you don't have to do it right now. You can do it later.
I got you.
All right.
I'm here.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just see that later. I'm just curious. Okay. So, who are some of the people that have inspired you to do what you do and to be who you are?
As far as singing, James Ingram, Anita Baker.
Ooh. Yes.
My father, he's like the first musician that I came in contact with.
Mr. Gospel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Layla Hathaway.
You don't have to, that's enough.
Michael McDonald.
Oh, Michael McDonald, yeah.
I just love all those soulful singers, and
yes,
those were the people. The Barge, and then coming into it, like coming into the to the R&B era,
right?
Guy, Today,
New
Edition, Jodeci, Boyz II Men, Tony. You know, those guys inspired me as far as intro is concerned.
Right.
Yep.
And I know that there were a lot of tours where or festivals where they had all of you guys, all those groups from that time perform. How are you still in touch with a lot of those people, or are you still like exchanging ideas creatively?
I 100% am. I try to stay in touch with everybody. Like some of my closest friends in the music business from my era would be, I say, Mr. Cheeks from the Lost Boyz.
Oh, right.
Horace Brown.
Oh, I love Horace Brown.
SWV.
I might need you to plug me for some more guests.
100% will happen. 100%.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I appreciate
by the way, the guy's name is Harold Whaley. He's the vice president of the American Basketball Association.
I don't know him.
Yeah, he definitely threw your name at me. I was like,
how does he know me?
Well, he told me he had a good friend. Yeah. In Amsterdam, and
Where did I meet him?
pretty sure. I don't know if he met you, but I told him that I had an interview coming up with you.
Okay, well, if you can text me his name later, then I'm like,
Definitely.
I'm gonna, yeah, because I'm appreciative. So I would just want to thank that person for, you know, putting me on, even though
It was
we
just a
already were.
coincidence of the day
Yeah.
that I got the email. He mentioned your name. I was like, "What's going on?" And I actually mentioned that to Jason. I was like, "Jason, this is how crazy the day has been for me today." You know, so.
But that is how the world works, though. Like, even me sitting here saying, you know, I'm so grateful and so amazed about talking to you when I was listening to you like 25 years ago. This is how the world works, especially now having to deal with the digital world. The world got smaller. I mean, so for people to now be able to reach out to their idols online, I wasn't able to do that. I had to listen to you on the radio, buy your CDs, and go see a concert. I wasn't able to see what you were eating or, you know, what you were doing. And that's so, it's so fascinating to see how we have experienced that transition from, you know, far away to closer to your idols or whoever you look up to, your inspirations, you know. And that's again, I'm just happy that we are in the time where I can still talk to you and I can say, I'll cross it off my bucket list.
I like,
you know, my brother will be going crazy too, because he's a big fan too. So yeah,
shout out to him.
I'm not
What's
even sure
name?
he's here. His name is Daniel.
Yeah. What's up, Daniel? Shout out to Daniel.
I don't know if he's logged on, but he'll watch back later.
He'll see it. Yeah, it's a lot of people were saying, "Oh man, I'm going to be at work at 3:00." I was like, "Don't worry about it. You'll be able to see it later.
Right.
Get back on and see it." That's one of the things. Like when I first started doing the interviews, I used to always look up into the corner there to the box and look how many people were in at the time.
Right.
But say, like for instance, right now it's 19. That 19 might go down to 18, but you don't really realize it. But like 5 other people came on at their convenience, and then the amount of people that watch it afterwards. And you know, I just thank you for sharing your platform with me. I went back and I watched some of your interviews, and they're quite entertaining. So I hope that I, you know, live up to that standard.
Oh no, you did. I don't even care. I'm happy to have you. So it doesn't matter. No, and for me, it's about the different type of creative people, because I don't just stick to the music artists. I have the producers, the filmmakers, the actors, the visual artists, like whoever is supposed to bring out art in this pandemic. I'll put them on. If you have an inspirational journey, or, you know, if you can motivate people with whatever you've been through or have experienced, then I just put it on. It's, you know, I don't get any money for this. This is just me putting this out there because I felt we needed inspiration in this time. And I love doing it because I get to talk to great people.
Awesome.
And going in a little bit further about you, because of course I want to know more about you. We have a little time left. You've worked with so many people. Who are some of the people that are still on your bucket list that you want to work with?
I want to get back in the studio with Mary J. Blige. I want to get back in the studio with her, and I want to do an entire album, and I want to title it "This Is the 411," because I feel like we have so much music that fits her style of that "What's the 411" album.
Right.
But initially, we gave her 4 songs: "My Love," "Reminisce," "My Love," "Reminisce," "Love Without a Limit," and "Let Me Be the One."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
But Puffy was like, we only got 3 slots. We thought they had 4 slots, but they only had 3 slots. If they would have had 4 slots, Let Me Be the One would have been on the 411 album as well. So with so much more material, it was just ready for her to get back in the studio and just.
I'm here for it.
I feel like we fit, like our fabric, the fabric of intro complements Mary J. Blige's vocals.
Right.
I'd love to be back in the studio with her, and if possible, I know it's impossible to do an entire Mary J. Blige album, but I would like to work with her on a couple songs. And I don't know how this will work out, but there's an artist named Gregory Porter. I would love to.
Gregory Porter, yeah.
He's phenomenal. Some of the young cats like Bryson Tiller, you know, I wouldn't mind going in with him. And let me see who's on my wish list. I wish record I have is a record called "Do You Hear Me," and I wanted John Legend and Alicia Keys to do it.
Hey, anything is possible.
Okay, I'm not gonna play through it now, but it's a song called "Do You Hear Me." Oh, it would be perfect for them. And my vision is to have the two pianos facing each other, and they're just having a conversation back and forth.
Right, with music. And you know, this is a thing. The reason why I ask these things is I want to speak it into existence during this talk. So all these people that you mentioned, Alicia Keys, John Legend, Mary J. Blige, Bryson Tiller, Gregory Porter, we are now speaking into existence that you will have those collaborations. And I always say when something happens, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but Mary should be possible because you have her contacts and stuff, right?
I've seen Mary, but I don't have a direct phone number. I don't have like her direct phone number. Yeah, it would be nice, but I don't. There's people that I know that can get messages to her.
Right.
But yeah, I so wanted her in the documentary, but that didn't happen. But we had some other great friends coming through. Like when you see this documentary, we got Mr. Cheeks in there. We have Donnell Jones.
Oh, I love Donnell.
Big Daddy Kane, Sadat X from Brand New.
Oh, Sadat X, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I know
Kango
him.
from UTFO, Coco from SWV. My dad's in it. Kenny's mom is in it. It's really a great movie. I can't wait.
I can't. You know what? I'll be hitting up Michelle tomorrow. Like, what's the news? Like, let me know when the date is.
And I definitely would love to come back on the show. And
do
a screening, because we're definitely gonna have the virtual red carpet, which you know already. You're invited to it, so it's gonna be fun.
Thank you.
Fun times ahead. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for it. And you just actually mentioned all of the people that I'm such a fan of. And what's interesting is, you know, I did a lot of interviews with the hip hop legends, because they always came over here as well. And one of the people that I never got to was Big Daddy Kane. Up until this day, I have not interviewed him because every time he was in Amsterdam, I was abroad. So I've missed him like so many times, and I still have not interviewed him. So he's high on my list.
I have his phone number, so I'll make it happen.
Thank you.
I
mean, I don't expect anything, but if it happens, then I appreciate it. But I definitely want to see the documentary. I'm probably gonna cry because it'll bring back so many memories for me as well. And all the music. I mean, I still play it. Like sometimes, you know, when I'm just cleaning my house, I don't necessarily want to hear new music. I put on the old music. So I got my little playlist with everything, and I got the CDs still. I just don't have a CD player anymore.
That album will have you clean your whole house.
Yes.
honestly, if I wasn't an intro, I think I would be an intro fan. Just because I go back and I listen to that album, and you know, self-credit is no credit. When I go back and I listen to it, I'm like, this is an album. It was a real album, you know.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm telling you, while you're making these things, you don't see it like that because it's over a period of time. You do one song here, then you're off to the next studio, but then to see it come together. And we actually picked the songs from that album, standing on the back of Eddie F's porch with an artist named Supercat.
Oh, cool.
The reggae artist Supercat pretty much picked the songs that went on our first album, because we had tons of songs recorded and we just played them. He's like, yeah, that one right there, that one right there. So
wait, was that DJ Eddie F?
DJ Eddie F from Heavy D.
Oh, shout out to him. Yep. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yeah. And for you to say that Let Me Be the One would actually be a Mary J song, that's mind blowing for me, because that was one of y'all biggest hits too.
And now mind you, Mariah Carey heard Let Me Be the One, and she called Eddie and was like, I want one of those records. So that's how Dream Lover came about.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Shout out to Dave Hall. He produced Let Me Be the One, and then he went and did Dream Lover for Mariah. Yeah.
So this is why I love these type of talks. I get all the inside information from songs and situations that I had no knowledge of, because I was just there a fan. I was just sitting as a fan.
I could go even a little deeper on Let Me Be the One. You ready?
Yeah.
You know where that song came from without knowing where it came from. Let me be the one, the one you come running to.
Me too, yeah.
And guess where you heard it before? Let me be the one you come running to.
Oh, wow. So that was
exactly.
That was really based off of that.
Making the old new. Let me be the one you come running to. Yeah.
That's
taking the old, making it new. Yep. So
I'm just again, I'm grateful for this conversation.
It doesn't go any deeper than that. That was the last
thing. It really doesn't. And just to hear such great information about the song itself, that was one of my, favorite songs in the time, still up to this day. But just, yeah, I'm just mind blown right now. I do have a question, I think, from somebody. Yeah, let me see. The Real DJ Skin says, besides your own songs, who are you currently listening to? Well, I would imagine Bryson Tiller, Gregory Porter.
Bryson Tiller, Gregory Porter. Presently, I guess this artist out of, I would have to go into my Spotify on my phone, like my Apple Music, because I'm always coming across like new artists. I pay a lot of attention to the playlist. Let me see, who's oh man, see, I just came across this new artist from London. I forgot her name. Dang. But
was it LMA?
I just listened to so much. No, it wasn't LMA. It was somebody very similar to LMA. But I would have to go into my playlist. I don't want to leave the interview to
No worries. No worries. You gave us a few already. Thank you so much. What is, because unfortunately, we're going towards the end of the interview, but what is an advice that you want to give out to everybody today?
Like new artists coming up, or just everybody?
No. Your own personal life advice, your life motto, or something you live by that you want to give out to people that are tuned in or tuning in later.
Okay, well, right now, pretty much in the current situation, like pay attention to the news, stay safe. Sometimes we be like get caught up in conspiracy theories and stuff like that. Pay attention to really what's going on. If you go out into crowds and stuff like that, know that you're taking a risk right now. On a not be so serious note, I always like to give pass the gym on to the new artists, the younger cats that's coming up. And my advice to them is just to keep it organic. Don't try to sound like anybody else. Don't base your success on anybody else. Don't worry about going platinum. Gain your followers and listeners one at a time. Right. Yep. Perfect.
I completely agree with all of that. I want to thank you for this amazing talk, this amazing interview. Like you just really made my teenage self super happy and excited. And I just couldn't be more grateful for hearing the stories, for you sharing, how you're dealing with the pandemic, how you stay inspired, but also your cooking. I mean, maybe we should follow up a couple times with some cooking stuff and maybe some, some red
Somebody wants to say hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Yeah. Do you want to see how many people are tuned in?
That's Lauren. She's doing a homeschooling.
Hi, Lauren.
Okay, Lauren. Did you enjoy the cake? You enjoyed the cake? Good. I'll be finished in a few minutes, okay?
Oh, she's so cute.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I tried to protect her from all of this. She wanted to be in the documentary. I was like, there's no way. Everybody, you just got to protect the kids. Keep them out of it. Like, they don't need to be in the middle of everything.
Not at that age.
Stop bouncing the ball. She came down and she started bouncing my gym ball. Give me a second, Lauren. Love you.
Yeah, that's like, Dad, you need to start using this gym.
I know. Definitely.
No, but thank you so much for all of this. And I'll definitely want to keep in touch about, documentary and do a follow-up and when the album comes out and whatever I can do for you on my side, please let me know. And Michelle got my info as well. So yeah, thank you so much. Shout out to her for making this happen. And shout out to Clubhouse, thanks to Clubhouse, this happened. So people are talking about Clubhouse is stupid. No, I'm getting to talk to my teenage heroes.
Yeah.
Thanks to Clubhouse. So yeah, thanks so much.
Clubhouse, I started paying more attention to the stock market. Like the pandemic is amazing. Just like,
cryptocurrency, all of that.
Yeah, stuff that I never paid attention to. I have time now to pay attention to. So,
well, we need you to focus on your music because we want some more good music.
Kay, I'm here.
Oh, that's a nice outro from intro. Oh.
I do believe in love. I do believe
Love is what makes the world go round.
till my dreams become real. I have nothing to lose, so there's no excuse for me to give it up, yeah. I do believe in love. That's what I'm working on today.
Awesome. I'm just,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm still fangirling over here. We can fangirl at this age. I'm appreciative of you and your whole team that helped make this happen. And I'm there first row when the documentary comes out. I'll dress up for the red carpet event and all of that. And when the borders open up, I'll be right here, making it happen.
Thank you.
So,
definitely on the team. Thank you, Lauren. Oh, she wanted me to put on the intro hat. She's so my manager. Let me tell you, this little girl, she's so my manager.
You forget to promote yourself.
Right. Thank you, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren. All right. Well, I'm wishing you a blessed day, and stay healthy, stay creative, and stay inspired. We'll talk soon. Thanks, buddy. Bye.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Man, that was incredible. I'm just still high off of talking to one of my teenage heroes. This is insane. Like, whoo, the stories that he had. If you tuned in late, you better watch back once this is online, because he was telling us some great stories about the songs and just about everything that came together and the people that he's worked with. Yeah, I'm just mind blown right now. I'm pretty much speechless, even though I talk a lot. Let's see who I got coming up next. I got some more great guests. I got Fredro Starr on Monday. Then I got TT the Artist on next Wednesday. Then I got some more people lined up. So stay tuned every Monday and Wednesday. And for now, I am going to ride off this high and put on some intro and patiently wait for the new album and the documentary. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Leave me your comments. Leave me some love. I appreciate everybody that's continuing to support me throughout this pandemic by tuning in and spreading the word. I hope everyone has a blessed day, night, evening, morning, wherever you are, and stay safe and healthy. And if you're in the cold like me, please stay warm. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.